Hello. I'm about to do something very irresponsible, both fiscally, both to time management, to the things I have on my to-do list, but it's all in the name of A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Hello, it's Editing Alley. I just want to say really quick that this is going to be a spoiler-free reading vlog, so if you haven't read the books, you're good. But I will have a little spoiler section of all of my spoiler thoughts at the end. I'll put the time code on the screen in case you just want to skip ahead to there. And I will of course make sure to tell you before the spoiler section comes. So if you're looking to avoid spoilers, you can easily do so. Basically, I was filming another video where booktubers choose the books that I read, and Miss Destiny Sidwell chose that I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I just finished it yesterday. I read it in 2 days and I was obsessed, and I need to finish filming that video slash so many other videos that are coming out this month, but I just can't stop thinking about this series. Like, I tried to start the other books I'm supposed to read for other videos, tried to film other videos, but I'm just like, A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I just want to basically finish the series. Just binge read it, absolutely binge read it. So I think I'm just going to X the plan of videos I had coming out and work on filming a video of reading the entire ACOTAR series, because I don't think I'll be able to focus on anything else until I finish this series. So like I said, I did already read the first book. I finished it in the last 2 days. I gave it 5 stars. If you can't tell, I'm obsessed. I loved the world building, I loved the characters, I loved the politics, the romance, and I'm someone who's pretty new to fantasy. The only other fantasy book I've read is Shadow and Bone, so I was a little scared whether or not I would love fantasy, but I'm so happy that I had such a good experience on my second ever fantasy book, and I think this is quite possibly going to be a genre I'm about to get obsessed with. Anyway, let me roll some clips of my thoughts on the first book so you guys can get caught up. Okay, I just read to page 57 and I'm a little bit confused. Feyre is out in the woods and she kills this wolf that she's not supposed to kill, and this fairy comes seeking like retribution. So the fairy takes her way to his land, which seems like a punishment, but she's kind of treated super great there. If he's punishing her for killing the wolf, why is he treating her so nicely? Like, I feel like I'm on edge, just like waiting for the other shoe to drop, because surely this fairy cannot be that nice. Okay, I made it to page 130. So far I like it. So far I'm not like obsessed yet, because I feel like there's a lot of world building of like the world. So I'm just making sure that I can like keep everything straight. I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the plot to like really start. I just finished page 230 and I'm so giddy. This book is a fantasy and a romance. Your girl is happy because you all know I'm a romance girl through and through, so I'm so excited. Okay, it's only a few pages later. I'm on page 234 and we just got introduced to Rysand. Again, like I don't really know anything specific about his character other than that he's heavily talked about on the internet. So I was just expecting him to be a certain way, and he's completely opposite from what I thought. I'm on page 313 and there's a riddle. I've heard people say that the riddle is super easy to guess, and I do have a guess of the answer to the riddle, but I don't know if it's right. Like, it doesn't quite fit all of the lines, so I feel like my guess is not accurate. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That's all that has been playing in my head over and over and over again, because I didn't see this part coming and I don't know what's gonna happen. I just paused to talk to you guys in a very intense part and I want to kill a certain character. I'm so upset. Oh my gosh. I finished the book and wow. I feel like it deserves like a clap. My mind is like reeling. Wow. I feel like the first half of the book I was like, okay, like 4 stars, like, you know, fantasy, world building, cool characters, whatever. But that ending, like I'm freaking out. 5 stars, 5 stars. Book number 2 secured. I had every intention of buying the whole series. They were buy one get one 50% off online, and then in the store they weren't buy one get one 50% off. So I'm a little confused about that. Maybe it's just an online deal, I don't know. So yeah, I just got the second book and then I'm gonna order the rest online. I'm gonna head home and let's start reading book number 2. Hello. I'm really liking the second one. I didn't expect anything less than to like it. I've heard that this is everyone's favorite book from the series, so I feel like I have a little bit of high expectations going into this one. So we'll see if those expectations are met. But yeah, this book is definitely a lot darker than the first one, which I didn't expect, but it makes sense because Feyre, the main character, went through so much in the first book. So she's definitely really struggling in the second book just mentally with everything that happened in the first book. Understandably so. It does get a little bit dark at the end of the first book, and I just want to give Feyre a hug. I want to give her a hug. I'm on page 406, and again, I'm still really loving the book, but I do wish there was a bit more romance. I feel like I heard that this book was like a little bit spicy, a little more heavy on the romance side. For people who do read fantasy, what is your preferred line between like politics versus romance, if there is romance in it? I spoke way too soon. I'm on page 415 and romance. Romance, that's all I'll say, romance. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Chapter 55. Chapter 55. Say it with me. Chapter 55. Oh my gosh, holy moly. I just read the chapter twice in a row, which I never do. Sometimes I'll go back and read chapters later, but twice in a row right off the bat, that's a first for me, girls and boys. I feel bad for complaining that there wasn't enough romance because I have got my romance fill. I'm just like, I'm so happy. I'm so giddy. Bro, what? Oh my gosh, I just finished A Court of Mist and Fury, and holy moly. I have a literal headache. And not, I know that sounds negative, but not in a bad way, in like the best way. Wow, wow. Sarah J. Maas. Sorry, I'm at my parents' house and I think they're sleeping, so that was a pitiful clap, but imagine it's like a really great grand clap for Sarah J. Maas. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have whiplash. Like that's why my head is like, I'm not lying, like my head hurts because I feel like bam, this happened, then bam, this happened, then bam, my heart was torn apart, then bam, I was confused, then I had a glimmer of hope, and then the end. Wow, sorry, I'm like speechless. I'm just like staring off into space. I'm just like processing and I'm being super dramatic. I know that, but like, oh my gosh, this book, the ending was crazy. It was so crazy. A lot of people told me that this is their favorite book in the series and I can definitely see why. I'm a little bit torn on which book I like better so far, which I feel like is kind of a controversial opinion based on how hyped this book has been to me. I felt like the second half of this book was really exciting, suspenseful, on the edge of my seat, as far as like the non-romance plot, like the fantasy, politics, all of that. And then this book, the ending was super exciting to me. The first like 2/3, I feel like they're mostly like preparing for what's coming, me trying to avoid spoilers. Man, now I wanna like stay up all night and start the third book, but I don't have it yet. It is 2 days later and I started ACOTAR, A Court of Wings and Ruin, and a lot of people told me this is their least favorite book in the series because it focuses on the war, but so far I'm on page 198 and I really like it. I really, really like it, which I'm surprised about. Going into it, I was thinking it was gonna be like battle scenes and like physical fighting, but it's really about like strategizing to outsmart their enemy. And I think that is so fascinating, especially since the characters are so smart. Like Feyre especially is so cunning. This book is like heavy in the politics of the world, which again, I'm like surprised by how much I love. Like I am eating this third book up. Oh my gosh, guess what just came in the mail? It's the other 2 books in the series. Okay, I already opened the package, but I haven't looked at them yet. Court of Frost and Starlight. Ooh, this really is tiny. I knew this was a novella, but cute. She's little. I love the blue color. And A Court of Silver Flames, book number 5. The orange is so pretty. These 2 look really pretty together. Also, this one is thick. How many pages is this? 757. Wow, holy moly. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, I'm so excited to put them all next to each other. Look how pretty they all look together. All the colors are so pretty. Also, this is cool on the spine. It would have been cool if they did something that went across all the spines, like a dragon or something. I don't know. Back to reading book 3. It It is much later. I've read a page 414, and something I didn't really talk about with book 1 and 2 is I felt like parts of book 1 and 2 moved a bit slow, especially like in the beginning, middle-ish of those books. But one thing I'm loving about this book so far is I have not been bored for a second of this third book, which I'm so happy about. I feel like partially because now that we're in book 3, we have like established all that world building, so we're just like really in the full swing of the plot. I made it to part 3. The name of this part is a spoiler, so I can't show it to you, but it makes me really excited. And with that, I think I'm gonna go to bed because I have read a lot today and it is late.
You certainly need a lot of paraphernalia in your trade. Yeah, cymbals, timp, bongo, tambourine.
It is the next morning and I just got to page 496 and there was a plot twist. I feel like I have been so on edge in this book. Like I'm really in the character's shoes of like, who can I trust? What can I trust? Like, I feel like in a war, you would just be like rethinking everything. I'm like, whose side is everyone on? I don't know. I finished the book. Wow. I really like this one. I'm surprised how much I liked it. I really want to say like which book in the series is my favorite at the end, but I don't know. Like I love the first book for like the world building. I love the second book for the romance. I love this book for the politics. Definitely another 5-star read. And I feel like we got to learn about all of the other courts, all of like the land, like all of the people and different high lords, and I love that. I feel like I have like a really good sense for all of the characters and the whole world after this book, which is really, really cool. Next up, number 4, the novella. I was looking at Goodreads reviews for this book, and this one is a lot lower rated than the others, which I'm surprised by, so I'm not really sure what to expect. I think it has like 3.8 stars or something like that, but all the other books have 4+ stars. And it says that this book is about the winter solstice, which I feel like will be fun, like to see all of the characters celebrating a holiday. But yeah, I will start this book tomorrow.
Everything you said we already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
I just reached page 80 and this book has multiple POVs, which I was not expecting. I feel like I'm equally a fan of single POV versus dual POV versus like many POVs. I think they all have like equal pros and cons. It just completely changes how the story is perceived. I'm glad that like the main books in the series are from Feyre's point of view, but I think the fact that this is a novella is like really interesting that we're getting different POVs. It's like very fun to get more insight into the other characters. I finished A Court of Frost and Starlight. Overall, I liked it. I would say don't go into this one with the highest expectations of all the books in the series. Remember that it is a novella, a fun, lighter story compared to the rest of the 3 books. I would say 4 stars. It's definitely not as like super interesting and plot heavy as the others, but I kind of like that. In the other 3 books, they go through such hard, intense things, so I kind of like that this one wasn't as plot heavy and we get to see them just chilling and living their life. Now on to A Court of Silver Flames, which is the thick one. 751 pages. The thickest books I've ever read are Harry Potter. I don't know where this compares, but it's definitely gonna be one of the thickest books, if not the biggest one I've ever read. It's the next day and I'm currently on page 168 of A Court of Silver Flames, and I've been going back and forth between the physical book and the audiobook, and the audiobook is 26 hours long, which is insane. That's crazy. I've never ever listened to an audiobook that long before. Also, this book focuses on Nesta, which is Feyre's sister, and I have such conflicting feelings about Nesta. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this book, to be honest. Nesta is just like, okay, she has gone through a lot, and so she has been lashing out and not dealing with everything she went through well, understandably. But I hate how she's lashing out at the people she loves who have also been through a lot, like they're healing too. I don't know, I never want to judge anyone on how they deal with trauma, but I just hate that the way that Nesta is dealing with her trauma is hurting all of the other characters that I care about so much. I just feel so conflicted about her and I kind of don't like her right now. I made it to page 268 in part 2, which is called The Blade. Very ominous. I'm on page 394, and this is definitely the spiciest book out of the whole series. I feel like I haven't really talked about spiciness level at all with the books. The first 4 books I feel like weren't as spicy as I thought they were gonna be. I don't really know what I thought, but I felt like I kept seeing reviews like this one is described as a simmering erotic romance, and I feel like I had heard similar things for the other books. But yeah, I feel like there's maybe like 2 or so spicy scenes in each book, and considering how big they are, that's not a lot in my opinion. But then this book is definitely way steamier, which I'm kind of here for. I'm on page 485 and I'm so angry at Nesta. She just told somebody something that she was not supposed to tell them. I feel like I was just starting to like Nesta, like getting over my Nesta annoyance, and then she went and did this. Nesta is just, she just keeps like messing up, and I know that's like the whole like arc of her character, but I just want to like her so bad, but she's making it so hard for me to like her. I'm on page 647, and so far I feel like this book has moved just a little bit slowly, but something crazy just happened and I feel like things are about to get wild. Every single book in the series has a really explosive ending, and I'm expecting nothing less for this one. Also, I'm on part 4 and I only have like 100 pages left, so I should be finishing this book really soon. I finished the book. I ended up liking Nesta in the end. I still love the first 3 books in the series so much. They are the top 3 out of all 5 books that are out so far in the series. But yeah, for this one, I'll take 4.5 stars. Nesta is a little bit of a tough character to love, but she did win my heart over in the end. I feel like it just took a while for me to really understand her. And I love that this book has such strong female friendships. I think that was possibly my favorite part of the book. The romance is great in this book too. And I love that we really get to see a huge character growth with Nesta and get to deal with her trauma and her healing from that trauma. So there's a lot of great themes in this book that I really liked. And that is every single book that's already out. I did find an article saying that there's going to be 3 more books coming out. According to Goodreads, it looks like of those 3 books, 1 is going to be a novella, and then 2 of them are going to be full books that take place after the events of this book. I don't know quite what we're going to get in these other 3 books. I'm hoping we get more of Azriel and more of Elaine, because I would love to explore both of their stories. Potentially a book for Moore, or maybe even Gwen, who we meet in this book. Please tell me all of your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to put a little spoiler if there's gonna be spoiler thoughts, but I just wanna talk to somebody about all of these books because I don't know anyone in real life who's read them. And with that, I'm gonna show you guys all of the spoiler clips of my spoiler thoughts while reading the series. So this is your final warning that you're about to see spoilers. Okay, take it away, Spoiler Alley. Hello spoiler friends, I'm on page 156 of ACOTAR, and I love what Feyre says when she's talking about how things aren't working out with her and Tamlin. She says, "I'm thinking that I was a lonely, hopeless person, and I might have fallen in love with the first thing that showed me a hint of kindness and safety. And I'm thinking maybe he knew that. Maybe not actively, but maybe he wanted to be that person for someone. And maybe that worked for who I was before, but it doesn't work for who I am now." I feel like in most books with romance, the romance plot with some conflict is pretty much perfect. Like it's this like perfect soulmate type of love. So I really love that the author showed us that her and Tamlin seemingly worked out so well in the beginning. I was like really rooting for them, but now it isn't working out. Like I think they truly love each other, but love isn't enough. And also Tamlin has definitely messed up and isn't this perfect person that I thought he was in book 1. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of refreshing to see a relationship fail in a book with romance. Also, I'm kind of mad that I know Rhysand is going to be the main love interest. I feel like it would have been a surprising plot point if I didn't know that. The only reason I know is just because I've heard people talk about him so much on Book Talk and BookTube, which is my own fault for watching videos about this series before reading it. They weren't spoiler videos, but people would just say how much they love him, and obviously in the first book it seems like he's gonna be like evil. So I just figured if people talk about him so much, he's probably the main love interest. But yeah, if I didn't know that, I feel like it would have been surprising that her and Tamlin ended up not working out. I'm on page 427 and this quote, Feyre is talking about how Rhysand thinks he'll always be remembered as the villain in the story. And then she says, "But I forgot to tell him that the villain is usually the person who locks up the maiden and throws away the key. He was the one who let me out." I just want Rhys to realize that he is perfect and he deserves love. Okay, literally all my spoiler thoughts are just gonna be sharing all these quotes that I love. I'm on page 469 and Feyre is talking to Rhysand and being like, basically like, if Tamlin took me, what would you do? And he said, then I would have torn apart the world to get you back.
Hello, spoiler friends. I have finished chapter 55 / page 542, and Rhys and Feyre just got together. Literally so happy, and there were so many good moments. Like his whole story about how he was having like dreams about her, how he like pushed that like starry image and then she ended up painting it on her drawer in her house. I didn't expect any of that. When she washes his wings in the bath with all the paint on them. Also, like, it made me so sad how Rhys, I feel like he doesn't feel like he's like worthy enough for her or good enough, or that people will want to be with him because they might be like hunted and have a hard life. Like, I just want to hug him, but I know Feyre will do a good job of doing it for me. She already has. I just finished book 3, and what are our thoughts on Tamlin? I don't know if I've ever felt more conflicted about a character in my entire life than I do about Tamlin. Like, on the one hand, he sucks. He sucks, especially with that temper of his where he could literally physically hurt Feyre because of his temper. That is unforgivable to me. But he also did so many good things. Like, he saved Feyre, he saved Rhys, he ended up being on the right side of the war against Hybern, he took care of Feyre's family in book 1, and I really think he truly does love Feyre. I think he's just super misguided and clearly messed up. Like, I don't know, he's just so gray. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on Tamlin.
I'm in A Court of Frost and Starlight on page 77, and I love this quote. It says, Cassian had named about 24 poses for Nesta at this point, ranging from I will eat your eyes for breakfast to I don't want Cassian to know I'm reading smut. And I love that Nesta, they've mentioned like multiple times that she reads romance, like smutty romance books, and it just feels so opposite to her character because she's like so cold on the exterior. So I love that she reads romance. I feel like that gives us like a peek into her soul, that there is like some warmth there if she loves romance books. And if we don't see a romance between Nesta and Cassian, I will die. Like, that'll be the end of me because I want that so badly.
I'm on page 234 of A Court of Silver Flames, and Feyre's pregnant. I'm so happy for her and Rhys. But also, I wish we got to read them finding out they're pregnant together from their POV. Like, wouldn't that have been so cute and so exciting to read Feyre and Rhys's POV of getting that news? Like, that would have been so cute. I kind of hate that we're finding that out from Nesta and Cassian's third person POV. I don't know, I just feel like it's less exciting. I would like to officially start a petition for Sarah J. Maas to write a bonus little novella or just a chapter, even a chapter of Feyre and Rhys finding out they're pregnant. So just comment below. I would like to sign the petition if you would like to sign my virtual petition. Thank you.
I'm on page 481 and I am so conflicted about Nesta. On this page, Nesta just said, Feyre doesn't love me, and Amren barks out a laugh and says, that you believe Feyre doesn't only proves you're unworthy of your power. Anyone that willfully blind cannot be trusted. You would be a walking nightmare with those weapons. And I kind of agree with Amren. I feel like it's one thing if Nesta just hurts herself, like when she was drinking a bunch and sleeping around. I feel like that pretty much just hurt herself. But then she does things and lashes out that like really hurt Feyre and Elaine and so many other people. And it's like they have been through so much too. Like Elaine also went through the cauldron. Feyre didn't go through the cauldron, but like Feyre went through like the war and like so many other traumatic things like with Tamlin and stuff. And it's like Nesta's not the only one suffering, and she's hurting the other people who are also suffering. I finished the book and the whole series, and I swear it has altered my brain chemistry and I will never be the same again. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye!